everybody. So today I'm going to talk about my habit tracker pages. I'm trying not to move this out of the screen. And this is how I do it. So I have a couple different things that I do. This page, obviously, I don't know if you can see, but I use these little tiny calendars to make the record for each habit that I have. And I have some that stay on all the time, like up early, workout, a Bible podcast that I listen to, things like inside and outside cleaning and organizing and gardening kind of tasks in here. And so how I do it, so like for example, here we have the up early. Obviously I don't get up before 6 very often, but before 7 is going to be in red, before 8 is in yellow, and if I sleep in late, then it's going to be in black. So everything, like if I have a rest day with a workout, it's in black. If I didn't do the task, then it's always in black. But I color coordinate the tasks differently every month based on just my mood, I guess. So this is one of the ways that I do it. I kind of go back and forth between this one and this one. And this one, you have like more room for your dates, your numbers in here. So what was this? This was, I think this one was February. Yeah, because I did all the pink in February. And I used this honeycomb here and this stencil for that. And so you just find one that's got, 30, 31 spots so that you have enough for each of your days. Ooh, and I apparently didn't record anything there. And of course this was February, so I had a couple of days that I blacked out because, it's not very many days in February. Yeah, 3 days blacked out. But that got a little confusing with that one. I should actually have just left that open because also like with the cleaning, that's a day I didn't do any cleaning or gardening. And of course, there's very little gardening there's to be done in February, but obviously I found a couple days to do something. But so it looks like the days that, the ones that are blacked out because there aren't enough days in February to use all of them are the same as the days where I just didn't do anything. Now, other thing that I probably should have thought of, I could have just not stenciled in those like 3 honeycombs, so that it just had the exact number of days in February. But anyway, so this is how I do this one. And I put a little key next to each habit as to the color and what it signifies. So you have the green. It looks like I'm using the wrong green there. The green is something I did outside. Oh, it's not just gardening. For February, it was any outside cleaning or organizing or gardening. And inside, any cleaning would have been in red. So you see for that. And obviously February, I didn't do a lot of housekeeping that particular month. This one was workout. I do beach body workouts. Those are in blue. If I took a class, like a class either streamed in town or local in town, I would do it in this orangey red color. If my workout that day was just took a walk, then it was this yellow gold color. And then of course rest days were all in black. And that's how I do those two. And I've kind of gone back and forth. Like this one, I did the honeycombs, and you can see I change the colors based on just kind of the mood that month, really. And then there's my February cover photo. This is my April tracker. I went back to the little calendars for the April tracker. I think, let's see. And then, yeah, so that's how I do those. And also the stickers. So the stickers for the beginning, I got those, I think with the February ones. Those pink ones were in a grabby sale. I got a grabby thing for a grabby box for my niece for like a birthday or Christmas or something like that. But I got all these stickers that were on sale. So they were all pink. So I made February because, February is also hearts and love and all of that good stuff. So pink's a good color for February. But for most of this journal, I have been using these little colors of the countryside. They're like all kind of, well, I've used a lot of them already. They're gardening and farm and homesteading kind of things, or old country houses, cute little woodland creatures. that kind of aesthetic. And so I've used those to decorate a lot of them. And that is one thing about this kind of habit tracker. For the stencils that I have, these are a lot smaller, so I have a lot more room for extra decoration on those rather than this one. The honeycombs take up more space, but I think the honeycombs look nice too, so I don't think it needs as much decoration anyway, because the honeycomb shape itself is already attractive. So just kind of depends on what you're in the mood for that month. But I like them both, really. So this is May. This is where we are now. You can see we still have days left in the month to do all of this stuff. I always change the last one to what I'm working on that month, something I want to do differently. So last few months it was face yoga. I've been doing face yoga this month. It's supplements, because I tend to be terrible about remembering to take my vitamins. So I'm keeping up with it this month, and I've done pretty well. So the purple is some, the yellow is all, and then the black is none. Obviously, I think I was out of town the first few days of May, and that's why I didn't take any that day. But anyway, that's how I do habit trackers. If you have any other ways of doing habit trackers in your creative journaling, I would love to see it. Oh yeah, see all these stickers here? These came out of this Colors of the Countryside. I really like them. I got them on Amazon. If I remember, I will link it in the video. And I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope it gives you some ideas on habit trackers.